Avatar Meher Baba
Baba ki
Jai.
jai.
Avatar.
Ahir Baba ki jai.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai. Jai Baba to all of you. Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba everyone. Prakash must be, he must be in Mehrabad now.
Think so. Yeah.
Yes. Tomorrow we are going to that function of housewarming.
Oh, wow, that's
Yes.
wonderful.
What is it?
Prakash's housewarming. Prakash.
Oh, tomorrow. Oh, send my love.
Yes, yes.
Marilyn
Sure,
sends her
sure.
love.
Oh,
Sure.
And Sally. How
Now
nice.
for today,
Everybody sends their
for
love.
today we were talking about something about Dr. Gani. Some stories connected Dr. Gani. As we know, just before I switch on to the subject of Dr. Gani, let me tell you something about the city of Pune. As you know that that was the time when India was ruled by Britishers, and the locality in which Baba's family were living, that locality was called a butler mohalla. You know what is butler? Those who are attending the customers in hotels and serving food and attending to their needs. So most of the people in that area were employed with the British officers, and the area of Pune city, Pune was distinctly divided into two parts. One part was camp area, wherein many of the high-ranking officers had their bungalows, very large bungalows, very spacious bungalows. And then there was city area. This camp area was of different religions, different levels of society. There were Mohammedans, there were Hindus, there were, local Hindus, there were Goanis, there were Iranis, there were Parsis, and so many cosmopolitan. Whereas the city area was mainly of Hindus. Some here and there may be there, but then majority will be of Hindus. Whereas the camp area was or cosmopolitan area. And Baba's father had a house by name Pumpkin House. And Dr. Gani, he was living in the same area. family was in the area, and that is how Dr. Gani and Merwan, they had become very thick friends. And when Dr. Gani's father was transferred to Calcutta, these two friends were separated from each other. And after about 15 years, so many things had happened. Gani had completed his education in homeopathy. He had become a doctor. He had started his practice in Mumbai. He had married. He had wife and his family, children. He had his house in Lonavala. So all these transformation had taken place in between time. From Calcutta also his father was transferred to Eden or somewhere. And there was a very big gap. But then the Gani family again came to Pune. They stayed, they had their house in Lonavala. So the Gani used to visit Pune. Babajan was there. Gani was quite good attached to Babajan also. And in the life of Merwan, his school, his childhood friend, a very big transformation had taken place because of that. Is by Babajan. He had become God alive and he had started giving talks on spiritual subjects before some of his old friends. Most of them were Mohammedans. And he started what we may call as a small gathering. And once when Gani visited Pune, he was searching for his old friends. He visited the old locality and he was told that Mirwani is holding a meeting with his friends at such and such place and you can go and meet him. Now see the scenery. Quite good number of people have surrounded Merwan, young Merwan. Among those friends, some elderly people were also there. And Merwan is going, explaining some spiritual matters. And Dr. Gani, Merwan's back was toward the door. When Gani entered, he entered from behind and gave a big blow on the back of Merwan. And all the people who were sitting there listening to Merwan song, they were surprised. How dare this man do that? But then when Merwan looked at Dr. Gani, they started talking so lovingly with each other, as if they have been recalling old days. And all the other people were just watching them, watching the two friends talking so lovingly with each other, inquiring about each other. But then the gathering, they didn't like Dr. Gani's attitude. A very familiar attitude. And after the meeting was over, they took Dr. Gani aside and make him understand Mirwan is not your old time friend now. He has changed and he has attained a very high status, high spiritual status. And you must behave properly. Don't take him to the old friend. Gani was surprised. He was taken by surprise. But then he understood the situation. And then, of course, the further stories go on. Especially when Gani was a really very wise person. When we talk about his person, he was not a very handsome looking person. But then one would like to be close to him. His personality was very impressive personality. One who stand close to him, one would feel that that man near whom we are standing is a very wise person, very knowledgeable person, very well-read person. And those persons will be under the influence of Dr. Ganesh Aditham. This was the situation. I tell you, one would like to stand close to Dr. Ganesh. Dr. Ganesh's personality was such. I said that he was not a very handsome person. But then the glory of wisdom was there surrounding Dr. Ganesh, and one would like to be in his company. That is how the young boys and girls of Pune, they were attracted to Dr. Ganesh. And because of the enthusiasm in these young boys and girls, Dr. Gani was also much impressed, and he started passing more and more time with these young boys and girls. Now, during the early time, the subject of Dr. Gani's childhood, his school days, his friendship with Merwan, their gang wars, their playing marbles, a gilli danda, that is called, then atepada, then hututu, kabaddi, that is what kabaddi. All these time he described in his own style and a beautiful style. When listening to him, one would get lost. That's such a interesting way of recalling his old memories. And thereafter, he started talking about Manzile Mim time. You can hear me, no?
Yes.
Better, better,
Yes.
This is good.
And
better.
until there was an echo.
Mhm.
It was disturbing me, but now that
Yeah.
echo has stopped.
It's better. Thank you, Jyoti. Yeah.
So then he started talking about his days in Manzile Mim. Some of the very funny stories were there. In Manzile Mim, Baba had strict orders that everybody should get up at 4 o'clock early in the morning, have some meditation, take a cold water bath. When he was hating that sort of a life, he was never used to take a cold water bath. And this went on for some time. Once, the other colleagues who were there with Mer Baba, they reported to Baba, Baba, when Gani enters the bathroom, there is a big noise of give an impression that he is taking bath. But when he comes out, his towel does not get wet. It is always dry. So there is something. And Baba says, is it so? All right, let us see it tomorrow. And when Gani entered the bathroom, after a little time, there was a knock on the door. And Gani is asking from inside, who is there? Then Mandali said that Baba is there. Baba wants you to open the door. Reluctantly, Dr. Gani opened the door. What he was doing is that he was throwing that water on the walls of the bathroom and making with his mouth making oof, oof, some sort of some sort of sound when one would like to make while taking a cold water bath. So this mischief of Dr. Gani was caught red-handed, and Baba made him sit there, and with his own hands he gives a punishment to Dr. Gani. Baba gives him with his own hands a cold water bath. Such mischiefs he used to do many times. Adi had told me once it so happened that it was a festival time where people throw colors on each other. It is out of enjoyment. It is called Rang Panchami, throwing colors on your friends. And during that time, once it so happened that Baba was there along with the Mandali, and Dr. Gani was entering the gate of that Manzile Mim. Right in the front, there was a big pond, water pond. And Baba tells his people, go and lift him and put him in that pond. So some of the people went there and just lifted Dr. Gani. He was taken by surprise. Why? What these people are doing? And they put him in that pond, and his whole clothes were wet. That was a That was the amusement for for Meher Baba. And many such incidents took place in Manzil. So in the sessions sessions with the young boys and girls, Dr. Ghani used to explain his times during his school days and during days of Manzil and about that incident when his houses in Lonavala were attached by a money lender and there was hot argument because of the repayment of the loans. And in that disturbed mood, Ghani had gone to commit suicide. But accidentally, same night, that money lender was killed by somebody, was murdered by somebody. And the first suspicion was on Dr. Ghani. But then the same night when Dr. Ghani had gone to the dam, the road going toward the dam was parallel to the Bombay-Pune road. When Dr. Ghani had gone there, he had taken much of liquor. He was in a state of intoxication. He had taken so much that he was virtually unconscious. Because of the cool breeze, he went into a deep sleep. And at the same time, Baba asked his Mandali to take out the car. And while passing through Lonavala, Baba asked the people to take the car toward the dam. People were just surprised why Baba is doing this. They thought that must have been Baba's mood. And the car was taken, and then Baba said that who is that person lying there? Just go and see. It looks like Dr. Ghani. And someone goes near and says that Baba, it is Dr. Ghani. He is Dr. Ghani. You bring him to me. Bring him to me. And when Dr. Ghani opened his eyes and looks at that person, he is a person, Baba person. He recognizes and tries to escape from there. But Baba said, don't allow him to run away. Catch hold of him firmly and bring him to me. And when he was brought before Baba, what Baba said that yesterday night, whole night you were remembering me so much. What was the way of remembering Meher Baba? When Gadi had gone there in that state of a disturbed mind to commit a suicide, first he abused with bad words all the gods and goddesses of different religions. And ultimately, at the end, he abused Meher Baba also with bad words because, according to Meher Baba, is also claiming him to be a god man. So he abused Meher Baba also. And on that, Baba comments to him, yesterday you had remembered me so much, so I have come to take you. Very reluctantly. He was actually forced to get into the car and first taken to Mehrabad ashram. And when the police had gone in search of Dr. Ghani, they visited Baba's ashram. And Baba had given a statement, written statement, that when this incident happened, incident of that person getting killed, when this happened, Dr. Gani was there with me in my ashram. And that is how Gani was saved. And one another incident was, of course, which had taken in Mumbai, because he had to close down his dispensary because of loss. We are not getting medicine time and had a very hard time running the dispensary. And within that time, Baba came and visited that dispensary, and finding all the corners dust, Baba took a broom and cleaned the whole dispensary and asked Dr. Gani to clean it every day. And Dr. Gani used to say that he has not saved my dispensary. He has saved my entire business in my medical profession. And he was really compelled. Circumstances they created around him in such a way that he will go and surrender to Mir Baba. In one of his songs, Dr. Ghani has described this incident 2 times. He says that in Maya, or the worldly life, twice I was taken into procession. I was taken into death procession. So he was made to die towards Maya and follow Mir Baba in his spiritual life. What he has said there, that मुंसिफ की माया में दोबारा बारात है. Maya में, and in the worldly life, twice he was taken to procession. And the basic cause was, of course, controlling person was Meher Baba. And thereafter he joined in Meher Baba in new life. I will tell a couple of incidents when he was in ashram. Dr. was actually fed up with that ashram life. He has his own way of life. Once he said, he had told us, when we were listening to his talks, he had told us that I was so very fed up with that life. Once I said to Meher Baba that what type of life it is. What we eat is a grass. We were not getting non-vegetarian food in the ashram. What we see, vegetarian food used to call grass. What we are eating is a grass. And what is the program? Getting up early, having a cup of tea, and going sitting before Baba for hours together without doing anything. So I am fed up with this life. Once he said that, Baba, I am really fed up with this ashram life. And Baba said, what do you want? Dr. Gari said, at least give me some books to read so that I can have a good pastime. And Baba allowed him make your own choice. What type of books you want. And Gani said that I had selected some very spiritual books in which very deep spiritual knowledge was contained in those books, was printed in those books, and very difficult to understand for a man of a common intelligence. Unless a man has a background, spiritual background, he won't understand the inner meaning of the writings in the book. And Baba allowed him to purchase the books, and he purchased many books. So Dr. Gani used to tell us that I was not much convinced about Baba's spiritual status. But we're respecting him, so I was also following. But then in my heart of hearts, I was not completely convinced about his status. And I used to take out some very difficult questions from those books, spiritual books. Very difficult questions I would take out and ask Meher Baba. Just remember, I would remind that this liberty of asking questions was given to Meher to Dr. Gani only. He had that privilege to ask questions because he was himself a well-read person. He had very good knowledge about the spiritual aspects. So Baba, if he asks a question, it will be very sensible question. And Baba would give his explanation of that. And Dr. Gani used to tell us that Meherban was younger to me by about 1 year. And I used to pick up some very difficult questions from those books and ask Meherban. And Meherban, in a flash of a second, he used to explain deeply all those spiritual subjects. And that is why Dr. Ganesh used to tell us that gradually I was getting convinced about Meherban's great spiritual status. There have been our Pune Center, K.K. Ramakrishnan had taken out a small booklet. The questions he answered. The questions he answered. So all those questions were collected from the early journals and they were compiled together. A beautiful booklet he had taken out. Ramakrishna K.K. Ramakrishna was a very thoughtful person. So he has taken out this book. And these were the questions which Dr. Gani had put to Meher Baba, and Meher Baba had given his explanations, deep thoughts which were contained in these writings. And that was to the Dr. Gani was convinced about that. So gradually there was a transformation in Gani's attitude towards Meher Baba. and he has started taking Baba to be a great spiritual personality. Once it so happened that Baba was very much angry with Dr. Gani. Gani had a knack of giving a very apt answer, a ready answer to any question, any situation, any question. In my life, in personal, I found that to any question regarding spirituality, Dr. Gani's explanations used to be very convincing, in spite of the fact that I was too young to understand. But then I remember those days. Whatever questions were being put to Dr. Gani, she was giving a very convincing answer to our group. So once Baba became very angry with him, and he said, there is no use you're staying with me in this ashram. You get lost. Don't show your face again to me. This is all amongst Baba's other Mandali. Baba says to Dr. Gani, you are good for nothing. You don't show your face again to me. You get away from my ashram. And Dr. Gani, with his slow style, he gets up, goes to his room, collects his things, clothes and other things in a small bag, like a polite servant. He comes and stands before Baba. And Baba very angrily said, I told you to get lost. Don't show your face to me. Why are you standing before me? And very innocently, Dr. Gani asked, where should I go? And in that angry mood, Baba said, go to hell. And Dr. Gani said, in the hell also you are there. I cannot avoid you. You are in the hell and you are in the heaven and hell also. And all that Baba's angry mood was changed. He allowed Dr. Giri to sit there. That was the naked truth that Dr. Gani had uttered then. When Baba said, go to hell, and Dr. Gani said, in hell also you are there, in the hell also. As you are in the heaven, you are in the hell also. So that style Dr. Gani had, giving very apt answer at the right time. The timing also very important. And just look at this action. He goes very politely to his room, collects his things, and like a very innocent child, he stands before Baba, and Baba, looking at him, Baba's anger is raised to a high pitch. And very like a innocent child, he asks, where should I go? And Baba, in that angry word, he said, go to hell. And the prompt answer from Dr. was that in the hell also you are there. And that all that anger had come down ultimately, and Baba forgave him. There were such incidents. One more incident I would like to quote is also very interesting. Once there were Westerners, all these early disciples of Meher Baba, like Noreen Majbuli, like Elizabeth Patterson, and then other girls were also there. I exactly do not remember now, but most probably it had taken place in Mehrabad ashram only, perhaps. Baba had asked different people, giving a subject. Perhaps, according to my memory, that subject was avatar. And everybody was asked to write an article. Elizabeth Patterson, Norina Bajbi, the other girls who were there must have been Malcolm Sloss and his wife. Maybe I don't remember their names, but then quite many Westerners were there. And Baba's own Mandali were there. And Baba had given a subject on which they were asked to write an article and read that article in Baba's presence before all the people. And the best article will get a prize, first prize. That was the arrangement. Now everybody wrote according to his knowledge, according to his understanding, and that was read before Baba. And one day there was a Dr. Ganesh turn to read an article before Baba, which he had prepared. Now that particular day, I tell you in Ganesh language, as if I am Dr. Ganesh. What Ganesh is that it was my turn to read an article, and I thought that Baba, every day Baba comes about 10-15 minutes late. So I will just polish little bit the language, that article which I had written. And then I will read before Baba and all the other people. And he spent some time in making final adjustments of words and sentences. Some polishing was done. And as according to, as has been his habit, very leisurely he walks into that hall, and Baba is already seated in his seat, and everybody looks at Dr. Gani, that Dr. Gani will have to face now because he has come late. Now when Dr. Gani enters there, Baba's anger had raised to a higher level, and Baba is asking the people, the Westerners, that tell him, since when I am sitting here waiting for him, the whole atmosphere is very, very serious atmosphere. And people tell Dr. Gani, because it was your turn, Baba had come 10 minutes earlier. And you have taken your own time to come here. Baba was fuming with anger. And he asked that Dr. Gani to come close to him. And when Dr. Gani goes close to Baba, he gave a very hard slap on one of his cheek. Very hard slap. Gani said that I was actually sort of a darkness was, I was in that state, as if I have entered some dark area. It was such a hard slap Baba had given. And then Baba abuses him. You are always so very careless. You don't care for my orders and all that. Baba was kept on abusing him, kept on firing him. And after some time, he calls Dr. Gani close to him. And Dr. Gani thought, what doctor said, that I thought that Baba would now caress me, because he has already expressed his anger by giving me a hard slap. Now he must have forgotten that, and he will give me a good embrace. But then when he comes close, Baba gives me another hard slap on his other cheek. It was such a hard slap. And then immediately Baba asked him to read out the article and look the fun, look at the speciality of Dr. Gani, as if nothing has happened. He started reading his article in his rare style. Everybody is listening to and enjoying the article which he had prepared to be read before all these people, before Baba. And Baba is also enjoying. Everybody said that that's a beautiful article he had written. And after reading this article, Baba had all praise for Dr. Gani's article. Naturally, Dr. Gani won the first prize. But then Dr. Baba put a question to Dr. Gani. When I gave you a very hard slap twice, you don't feel anything? When I asked you to read out the article, you immediately started reading the article as if nothing has happened. You didn't feel anything about that. Yeah. The answer of Dr. Gani was, I did feel, but you are my childhood friend. That is, I have forgiven you. Thereafter, the ladies also, European ladies also, they said to Dr. Gani, they told Dr. Gani that Baba had come 10 minutes early because it was your turn. And when Baba gave you a slap, very hard slap, and asked you to read out the article, you read it as if nothing has happened. How you could do that? And Dr. says, after all, he is my old childhood friend. That was how Dr. Ghani, and he used to describe these incidents before us in his own style. He had a very, very attractive style of explaining, putting the old time facts about each mandali. He has a reading about the nature of each mandali. Once it was something, some subject, some verse from Persian, I think. In that verse, there are certain people who do not like easy life, comfortable, they don't like. But yeah, they are made to face very hard life. Say, climbing a mountain, jumping from some stone or jumping from some water flow. This sort of hard life they like. Some people are there. And Baba is explaining this amongst my disciples also. There are both type of people. Some do not like to have this hard life. They want easy life. They can easily face. But also there are people who, in my own Mandali people, that they like hard life. In comfortable life, they are uneasy. They become very uneasy to live in a comfortable life. They want hard life. And Baba asks Dr. Gani, have you understood? Have you understood this point? Dr. Gani says, yes, Baba. Tell me what you understood. What you have understood, tell me. Dr. Gani utters RH. When he utters the name of RH, Baba stops him from talking any further. Because it is that RH's nature was such. She did like very easy life. He always wanted a hard life. And Ganyan just uttered one word, RH, and Baba stopped him. He go, don't tell about more. This was Dr. Gani. After he went in new life, then of course we were deprived of his company because he had gone in on from 16th October. He had gone along with Baba. He could not withstand the hard life. It was a very hard life because right at the beginning, at one point, Dr. Gani had a light heart attack. And what Baba did to his old time friend, he asked Dr. Gani to rest for about 5-10 minutes. and then again made him walk along with Baba in new life. Such a hard life was there. Of course, further story we will resume next time. For today, I think this is one stage up to new life. After this, we'll take up further some of the incidents concerning to Dr. Ghani in new life, and then how he was sent back from the new life. That portion will take next time. Till then, we stop here.
Thank
If
you.
you, if you, sorry, if you have any queries, any questions, please.
Any question?
Pratap, did you enjoy Gani? Did you enjoy?
Oh yes, very much,
Mhm.
very much. You see, Dr. Ghani used to come to our group after his dinner. It must be about 9 o'clock. He will come to us, and he will sit with us at least up to 11 o'clock. At certain times, it went up to 1 o'clock in the night, midnight. And where he used to stay, it was a walkable distance. So a group of boys, young boys, they will accompany Dr. Ghani up to his residence, and they will leave him there and come back. They were all boys from the hostel and Baba lovers from nearby localities. They will sit up to midnight. Dr. Ghani was in hurry to give us,
Oh.
share with us all that he had, his experiences with Baba. It's a wonderful time for us, very memorable time for us. No question of my enjoying. Everybody enjoyed Dr. Ghani. When he used to sit there, I had earlier explained that he was a easy-going person. His walk will be a slow walk, not a fast walker. His personality was very pleasing personality. One would like to be in his company. He was not very tall person, maybe just little less than a medium height, bent a little because of his old age. And when he comes there, he was a chain smoker.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, and in our group, there was no one smoker. So then we will offer some dish to drop that ash in that, and he will keep on smoking. But then nothing will come in his way of talk.
Hmm.
It was such a interesting talk. We will really get lost in listening to talks. It is so very interesting. His style was so very interesting. And when he used to explain to us about the Baba's Mandali, everybody nature, he used to call it as inside boxing. That was the word he used to use. And one more thing I would just say funny about this capitalists in Baba's group. Some rich people providing some finances. It is a very subject of how Baba used to manage his finances. It is we cannot just have any knowledge and any understanding about that. But in those who used to finance, Baba, Dr. used to call them spiritual black marketeers. Spiritual black marketeers. So for today, we close it now. Today's topic. Let us meet after 1 week. After 1 week, next to next.
Thank you so much, Pratap ji. This has been so lovely. I know you like to close with Baba's J, so how about we say it 3 times together?
Yes, please. Yes.
Avatar, Meher Baba,
Ki Jai.
Avatar, Meher
Meher Baba ki Jai.
Avatar,
Meher Baba ki Jai. Jai, 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 Baba to everybody. Jai Baba to everybody.